Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to Blueprints. This is day number 98 and episode 82. And I'm hopeful that we are going to get some very detailed feedback on how we did on the final exam. If we don't get detailed feedback, then we have a problem. What I mean by that is my hope and prayer is that we get a graded final exam back. In the last episode, we drafted all of the classrooms. It looks like it's right there. Drafted all of the classrooms, made it to the final exam, translated a shit. I basically learned Eurasian. I mean, basically. It was an eventful day. Very eventful day. Exam results. Okay, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. We've just got, this is so cool. We've just gotten some information, but not the information that I thought I was getting. Oh, boy. So the information we just got, I was worried that we would get just a score and no individual question feedback. I was hopeful we would get a line-by-line, question-by-question, this is correct, this is not correct score. Grade. Instead, we're somewhere in the middle, which is that we have categories. Oh, and I didn't do so well on color. Didn't do so well on geography. 50% on art. 67% on history. We killed algebra, science, and math. So, algebra and math are different. I mean, they, like, in the real world, I'm aware that not all math is algebra, but all algebra is math, probably. Here's the other important thing. It says B. It doesn't say... I got B. Which makes me wonder if acing it doesn't mean all I have to do is get an A of some sort. Can I get an A minus? Oh boy, I got a lot of questions. Simon P. Jones. The big ass B. Well, we should probably screenshot this. The bummer is that this means that I probably need to go back through the last episode and screenshot the entire test. My plan at this point is to screenshot the entire test and my answers and try to consider what it is that I think I did well on and did bad on. We're gonna have to do sort of what we did for each individual classroom, where we look at a person's worksheet and we say, well, this is correct and this is not correct. The difference is, on that, we knew exactly how many were correct, and we could use process of elimination. On this, we cannot. We're just gonna have to use our confidence and be like, okay, we only missed probably 86%, means probably we missed like 1 out of 7? 6 divided by 7 equals 86%, 85.7. So my guess is that there are 7 geography questions, and we missed 1 of them. My guess is we missed 2 out of 8 or 1 out of 4 color questions. Probably 2 out of 6 history questions. I don't know if there were only 3. I think it was probably 6. Same with Eurasian. I don't know. Basically, we're going to have to, like every single other thing we've ever done inside of this game, we're going to have to go back and do our homework. Okay, final exam results, a B. I don't feel bad about that, but... Listen, I'm the kind of person, I don't want to brag, but I have not gotten a lot of B's in my life. I realize that does not make me intelligent. That just makes me a good test taker and a like I'm the kind of person who schooling systems are very flawed, but I am very lucky in that, like, schooling and testing systems, standardized tests, etc., I benefit from very greatly, and I do pretty well at. I'm not saying that makes me smart. I'm saying that makes me a good test taker. And I have not gotten a lot of B's in my life. And a little part of my heart hurts that I got a B at Blueprints. Fuck. Okay, I think we want shelter here for the chance to get a furnace. Freezer situation. But I kind of don't like any of these anyways. We'll do that for now. We'll do that now. And the other thing that's nice about this is that we can immediately set up an experiment. And it's just unlocked. That's new. Is that new? I don't think the last time I was down here that it was just unlocked. How are we doing on radiation? We need 12 or higher. We're probably at like 0.6. 0.12. Oh my god, did I just miss that? Okay, let's see what the plan is for today. Let's see what we can get going. What do we want to work towards? I'm feeling a little bit of a hangover from the final exam, you know? Like, that was really a huge thing that we were interested in. I'm gonna have to change my take final exam to-do list to take final exam again. I think we're probably looking at missing realm sigil information. Mechanarium, as always. Her ladyship's diary, but that's related to tomb, which we don't have. Heating up the freezer, solving the gallery. We have a safe on rank 10, of course. We need to read and screenshot Swimbird. I guess we'll take magnifying glass for now. I don't know that we'll need it. My guess is that the stuff in tomb will stay open, but for now I think we're gonna do that. And then honestly, the biggest question marks I have at this point in the game are all related to the absolute bomb that got dropped on our understanding of what was happening inside of this house when we read the archived admin access logs. Who the fuck is Lee B? Who the fuck? Where did I write it down? Prov C, Hound U. Bo Lee, C Prov, and U Hound. Who the fuck are they? And what? They were moving against my mother. On the same timeline, basically, as my mother was moving to steal the Red Crown. That's the big question on my mind right now. And by that, I mean, basically, I have no understanding of... Ooh, these are all three interesting. Okay. Basically, I just feel like I've barely touched that question. Other things I feel like I've got some information on. That one I'm just like, I just learned their names. I have no idea what else happened. Okay. We have an experiment. An effect. Add 3 aquariums. It is interesting. I don't know that it's good, but it's interesting. Spread dirt on driveway, which I've discovered that I really like. Or permanently add 1 gold to your allowance, which I also really like. Each time you eat an apple, whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. I kind of lean apple here because it can get really good. And then I kind of lean... I mean, apple and spread dirt on driveway was the one that was amazing for me the other day. Let's try that. Fuck it. It worked really well with conference room. But let's try that. Okay, so what do we want to get up to today? Conservatory is our first priority, as usual. We're going to need a shovel if we're spreading dirt. What else? The furnace and freezer thing is a big question mark still in my head in terms of I don't really know what to do there. We're looking for conservatory here. We are not getting it. I'm very tempted to take boudoir here because that's an amazing immediately spread 3 dirt on the driveway, right? I forgot that boudoir adds apples. Oh man, what I should probably do right this second is think through what exactly... Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I need to go blow my nose, so I'll be right back. Okay, well, I did blow my nose, but I also spent some minutes going through and screenshotting my answers to all of the things, I screenshotted everything that I answered on the final exam. And the reason that I did that is there's a question really early on, right here, number 5, what color is the fruit that gives you +3 steps when consumed? I realized as soon as we drafted this room, oh, we're going to need to study for the next final exam. And to do that, we're going to need to master... I feel like Blueprints is sort of a puzzle game, and it's sort of a note-taking game. It's sort of an organizational game. And so what we can do right now is resume day 98. I almost hit call it a day. That would have been an accident. You get +2 from an apple. So that tells us some stuff, which means we need to, all of a sudden, start going through and looking at our questions and figuring out what we're confident in and what we still need to know. I think Blueprints is kind of a note-taking game because you kind of need to figure out what info you're missing so that you know what info to hunt for. So welcome. I know the last episode was full of final exam stuff. Welcome to studying for the final exam. Here's my thought. I think we should go through. Right now, I think a good place to start would be to go through and think about how we did on every question, and what type of category it's in and how confident we are that we're correct. Some of them I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. So let's just do that. Sam left his house at 6 a.m. and drove 5 hours west past 8 flags. He then turned north at Tanner Fork, drove 2 hours north past 4 flags of the same color before arriving at Trinsdale at noon. What color were the flags? So I think this one has to be red. Would I call this a geography test? I would probably put this in the geography category. I would call this red because I think I have never used Microsoft Designer before, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I think it's going to be a little bit easier than using Photoshop for every single one of these. I think in Classroom, we have a decent map here, maybe? No, where's the one that has Trinsdale on it? So we were just looking at this. How did we find it? It's not one of these maps, is it? Trinsdale. It's not on there. So where did we find this? Tanner Fork. So that is the like the metro thing. For arriving at Trinsdale. My hope is that if we study for the final exam, the next time we take this final exam, it's 10 minutes of me filling in the blocks that I already know, you know? I really don't think it's going to be hard to take it the second time around. But the first time around, Trinsdale. So Trinsdale is up here. He arrives in Trinsdale at noon. It's all Orinda Aries. Tanner Fork is at 10, right here. So I guess the next question is, and I think I was thinking through this before, is the, yeah, so here's the, like, so Trinsdale is right here. This says Arch Aries, but I don't know where the line is. There. So I think Arch Aries is on this side of this little thing. It's north of the water and east of this water. It looks like, right? This is all Arch Aries. This is Orinda. So I believe that the only way that... so I think 3, Aries Crossing, is technically in Arch Aries. I think 2, aka East Depot, is in Arch Aries. And everything else is in Orinda Aries on this map, aka Finn Aries, in the era of when this test is being taken and in the political eyes of the people. So I feel about 80%. Oh boy, that is way too thick. How do I undo? I feel about 80%. What is wrong with this thing? Why won't it draw? Oh boy, I should have used Photoshop. I feel about 80% confident in this. So that's where I'm at right now. In this scenario above, where does Sam live? He left his house at 6 a.m., drove 5 hours west. I mean, I think he has to live inside of Orinda, aka Finn Aries. Five hours west, 2 hours north is not a lot of time. He ends like right here. We can rule out that he lives in the grand city of Finn. We can rule out, I believe, that he lives in either Arch or Araja. The way I read this question is that what color were the flags? Is that all of the colors were the exact same color, right? Like he's, but where is he driving from? West, right? Like, is it really that big of a country? I mean, did he actually live from like down here and then north? But that doesn't make sense. 5 hours, then 2 hours. I think he lives like right here. Boom, boom. I don't know, man. This question stresses me out. And the fact that it's the first question on the final exam does not make me feel good, you know? He lives, where does he live? I don't know. He lives 5 hours east of Tanner Fork. Whatever that is. Way over here. We are pretty sure it cannot be the Grand City. Shit. The Grand City of Finn. I never actually answered this one, so that sucks. I'm pretty sure it can't be Arch or I'm relatively sure. Control Z does not work on this thing, which is really annoying. I'm pretty sure it can't be Arch because he drove north. I'm relatively sure it can't be Araja But Oris is also, like, it's just directly south. So how did he drive 5 hours west, then turn north and drive? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But I think it's kind of related to Oris. I think Oris is probably the closest. Oh, shit. I clicked off of everything. Oh, no. I feel like... I feel 50% sure about this one. That's 2 different colors of green, which is really annoying, but oh well. Okay, we're going to save that. And then... Okay. We're going to call those 2 geography questions, maybe. What color is most often associated with hallways? I feel good about this one. I feel great about it, even. We're going to call that probably just good, right? Which of the following would be the least patriotic room pairing? I feel good about this one. The math we did here is good. Why will it not let me mark? What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this program? Who has ever used Microsoft Designer before? Oh my lord. I'm clicking and nothing is happening. What is going on? I don't know, man. Okay. I guess we probably should just use Photoshop at this point because it's not working. So let me figure that out. Close some other things. So this is gonna be a pain in my ass, but I'm really gonna be happy when we get it all done. When we succeed. I'm gonna be really proud of us for when we succeed. Okay. At least in Photoshop, I'm vaguely familiar with what I'm doing. So let's choose green. This is done for sure. This I feel good about. Least patriotic, right? Carrerica is, in terms of map colors, we're double checking all of our work now because I don't want to double check it later. Let's see here. I need to look at my world map Photoshop document. Carrerica is orange. So I feel good about that one. What color is the fruit that gives you plus 3 steps? We are pretty sure this is not... how do you do the alt click? Is it actually alt? I should figure this out. Shift apparently makes you draw a... Shift apparently makes you draw a clear line. Somehow I changed the size. I wonder what the button is for using the alt thing. I should look that up. It's no longer a blind playthrough because I am looking up how to use Photoshop. Photoshop, alt, paint, color. What is the hot button? I'm sure there's a... Holding the alt key while using the brush tool temporarily transforms it into the eyedropper tool. How do I use the second paint color is what I'm trying to find out. I swear that AI overviews are not helping. Press the X button. Oh, yeah. Press X to switch. Let's go. Okay, we figured it out. X to switch. AI overview gave me everything but the right answer. Okay, perfect. I just learned something about Photoshop today. So no matter what happens in this episode, it won't be a loss. So we are pretty sure that this is not red. We don't know about green. I don't know about only green. We're going to find out. Cool. That's good. So I will save all of these photos later. For now, because otherwise that will just be a ton of naming of files. For now, we have solve the following problem. 5 minus 5 is 0. Times 2, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Is 0. So that's good. Solve the following problem. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Times 2 is 24. Cool. Solve the following problem. 5 minus 2 is 3. Times 5 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. Did I get 100% on math? Minus 5 is 11. We should double check that. Did I get 100% on math? 100% on both math and algebra, which is very interesting because the last question in this thing, I was really confused by, and I kind of just guessed. I don't understand it, is what I'm trying to say. So I think we can probably just basically skim through these, considering I think I got them all correct. Let's call that 1 times 4 divided by 5 times 4. 1, negative 3, 6. Sorry, negative 6 plus 7 is 1. 3, negative 1, negative 8, negative 4, 1. Perfect. Excellent. Next question. So we got carbon. I think we did great on this too, right? Science, 100%. I would call this science. Yep. Ne is directly below helium. I remember that. Ll is definitely not on the thing. So silver is Ag. Radon is not used. And there's 2 in the top row. Perfect. So what city of Finn is south? The city of Finn is south of which small body of water? I feel good about this one. We nailed this one from the map in classroom, I believe, right? Morning Bay. How many cities in Finn Aries are larger than Reddington? It says in the Reddington thing, 3rd largest city in Finn Aries. So we believe that's true. I have no reason to believe either of these is incorrect. I have no reason to doubt. That's kind of how I'm approaching. Do I have any reason to doubt? Which of the following realms is not near Finn Aries? Carrarica is definitely the one that is not closest because it's on the entire other side of the map. Okay, of the globe, I should say. That means we are on to question 21. I feel 99% sure about that, but we should just double check. It's like right. Yep. Okay. What realm is directly north of Iraja? It is Finn Aries, aka Arenda, Where are you right now? I feel pretty good about this one. Mount Holly is very close to Reddington. I am curious if Oris is the area. I think Oris is the city. I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, I feel very confident about that one. I'd call that like 90. I'd call that like 98%. It's amazing how little I actually know about Finn, aka Arinda, Ares. Despite the fact that it's a fictional country that I've learned the entire history of at this point. Or a lot of the history of. And yet I still have questions like, is Oris a city or a like region, a state? Hard to know exactly. Which two pieces of art would be best paired to depict the letter B? I did not do so well on art, 50%. So this is stuff to really be aware of. Now that's because some of them were empty. I need to find the grade 5 classroom thing. I'm about 80% confident on this one. Which of the follow is not done? Ace and face. Right? Because in the main room, we have the F of safes in the entrance hall, I should say. Update my vectors. What does that even mean? So, and then there's one piece of art which I believe is Trinsdale. Because I don't think it's Real Eyes, which I am aware of as something else. This would be really nice as a way to get the hint for the gallery puzzle, by the way. It would have been great to get that hint. But it's also great to have solved it without needing it. So, yeah. Anyways, so which of the following pieces of art was not displayed in the grade 5 classroom? We should call that a big old question mark for now. Birch tree and oak tree, no. Bale and ale. Birds and a bookstore. Flock and... I mean, I think it just has to be bale and ale, right? I feel very confident about that one, but just trying to think it through. So that is number... I organized my thing by the actual question number. So I think next we're going for 27. Open this with Photoshop. This one, I have no idea what this means. I have truly no idea what I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at... I believe this is number 7 in the chapel. I have something written down on my notes on chapel that say shield / scepter / king. It might be queen, but you know, like those 3 items on a person. Number 7 inside of the chapel. I think this must be an abstract type of question. There are obviously multiple differences, but a difference that can be cited with a single letter. Maybe this is the same type of... Oh! Maybe it's the same type as 24. I do know that some of the characters in the chapel, and I think it might even be all of them, have names. Danja is left of the altar. Lydia is right of the altar. Similarly, Mila is the maid with broom. I have something written down next to cook that I can't even understand. So I think we might need to find the name of this person. Now, I have Cloister of Rinna, right? Let's move everything off of my everything off of my desktop. Rinna looks like the farmer. Oh shit. Gardener? Farmer. Gardener? Farmer. Rinna is gardening. And Rinna is 1, so this is huge. Okay, so Rinna. Okay, so now we know Rinna. We know Rinna. We know... How do I know this information? Somewhere in the gardening logbook, there is a... Yep, I just found it. Rinna. There is one named Orinda in the cloister. What was the original person in the cloister looking like, though? I do not remember. Holy shit. I have no idea what the original person inside of the cloister looked like. That's been forever ago. I mean, when I was first in the do I have any screenshots of the cloister that were that long ago? I don't know if this is before, I don't know who that is. This note would not say, right? So, interesting. I don't have any other, I don't have any other rooms that give you information on the... Is it, on the, like, 7 people inside of the chapel, right? I don't know what to call those people. The angels? Gods? What was I just thinking of? I was just sitting here thinking of... So, does the description for Geist bedroom say anything for the person, like... It does not. With the scythe. That's the word I was looking for. Ajeran angels. There it is. I did say angels. It does say 8, right? It says 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why does it say 8? In stained glass. In stained glass. I'm going to write down look at angels in chapel. Or just look at chapel again. On my list so that we can take a look again. And we got to get back to this question that we're trying to solve right now. But it's just interesting to me. So my guess is now that it's that. So what would the thing on the left be? Well, this is... I think the place to look would be here. The vast domain. Ah! Wait. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris. By the end of the 1st century, the black banners of Arendia could be seen fluttering in every hamlet and hostelry, along every thoroughfare from Oris all the way to the western banks. A new kingdom was born. Is that kingdom called Ajera? I don't know. I think that's not a terrible guess. I saw Agera in italicized here, and I was like, ah. The vast domain goes in 3 equal shares. I mean, the other place to look would be the map, right? Like the classroom map. It just says Orindia for the entire thing. So, I mean, probably looking at Orindia. But let's write that down. So, if this is Orindia and this is Orinda, 100%, right? 100%. The answer would be B. That's got to be it. This is Orindia, that's Orinda. So, that's my guess. That's my guess. So then in these angels, this is interesting. In these angels, the 7th one, the one wearing a scepter, a crown, a shield, that is... No, this person's name is Oris. I thought maybe it was... So who the fuck is Orinda? Oh, it's just this person. The angelic paragon of royalty right there. It says it right there. I was looking at the right book. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so that's 100%. That's it. That's 100%. Cool. That's Orinda. Excellent news. I forgot to do this on a new layer. So what we're going to have to do is erase everything so that I can erase this. Perfect. So this is Orindia. This is Orinda. Answer is B. 100%. Excellent. We're getting there. So next classroom, or next final exam, 28 through 30. First, crowned ruler of Finaries. This is the one I feel 20% about. In which era was all of the stuff destroyed? The classroom shows a bunch of slides over the classroom with the projections. Is showing a bunch of slides, I think, of this of the 5th era, the era of ruin. Am I wrong though? So I could be wrong about both of these questions. So let's think this through. No, test. Okay, so okay, so the options on number 29 are interesting. Agera does not make sense. That's like the original era. That's like era 1. It's like when everything is positive and nothing was bad. Does not make sense. Second era does not make sense. The railways of Finn Ares. Finn Ares is not a thing at that point. In the third era, Finn Ares is not a thing. This is Orenda Ares. Or sorry. Yeah, Orenda Ares. Then, in the fourth era, Desolates the Third, I'm going to try and answer both questions at the same time, is king of Orenda. So we're pretty dang sure it is not him, because this is not Finn Ares. He passes away. The fourth era comes to an end. Sorry, this is me trying to make sure I understand everything. The fifth era begins, which is the war. Prince Learson, self-proclaimed prince, declares himself the true monarch. On the other hand, he eventually dies. Prince Learson himself added another number to the casualties. It says Prince Learson, not King Learson. It says Prince. My reading of that is that the establishing of Finn happens on the 22nd year of the War of the Fifth Era, which lasts 22 long years. The black flags are burned, red banners are hoisted. So anybody who is at this point dead is out of the running. X question mark. Desolates the Fourth was the person who came behind King Desolates the Third. The opposite side of Prince Learson of Finn. So the defeated side. So definitely not the case. This is the person who gets defeated before the Finn is created. The general of the Northern Regiment joined forces to which we this is the thing. I'm pretty sure we'll mark this as like 40%. I'm like 40% sure. So I think that means that the sixth era actually has to be the one where it's the period directly after all of this where all this stuff has to happen. The War of the Fifth Era definitely lasts both the entire Fifth Era and 22 years. Are these both correct? That's kind of funny. That's a little interesting. Okay. What do we have next? So, oh boy. Studying for the final exam. Sorry, I feel like the final exam has completely taken over our game. It's a game within a game, but I'm interested in playing this game, so. What was the first capital city of Finn Ares? I feel pretty confident that that's correct. I believe the information is located in the Reddington book, site of its former capital. It's the first question mark part of it that is a little interesting there. We will call it 80%. I believe Grand City of Finn is the current capital. Which realm gifted Finn Ares a dirigible? This is nuance. We feel 80% based on their stamp, which has a dirigible on it. The deciding battle of the War of the Fifth Era was fought on the southern shores near what famous landmark? We believe that has to be Colossus Orenda based on the map from the classroom. Southern shores. Angel Tower. It's not in Finn. Angel Tower, we don't know what that is. And it's not Mount Holly, so. It's not Mount Holly. It's not the Royal Museum of Finn. I think. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, so next. 34 through 39. These should all be correct because they are math. So, I think we'll probably just 6 squared 36. 9, 6. Okay. 12 flipped is 21. 11 divided by 3 becomes 3.66 rounded up to 4. 4 squared is 16. 21. 42. 41, 14. And 2.5. 5 divided by 2. 2.5. Times 3. 7.5. Rounded to 10. 9. Times 6, 54 plus 100, 154, rounded up to 200. We think that's all correct. Okay. We're diligent now. It will pay off the next time we take. I really don't want to have to take the final exam a third time, but we may have to. So we did not do so well in Erasion, actually, which is really kind of interesting. 67%. That's not great. I think we may have left one of them blank. I don't know. The Erasion word for house, we believe, is hue. I'm going to call that 80%. It came from the... it's directly from the classroom, right? Hue for house. Okay. So... I mean, probably call that 95%. But there's some that are definitely wrong, and I felt pretty confident about my Erasion. So, Nev Yate. Nev means new. Gate means new. Or Yate means gate. So I'm like those are both on the things. So I feel Nev also means the start of. So it could mean new gate means future. I don't know. But I thought future was its own thing. Future means array. Yeah. Array. A-R-E-I. Array means future. The start of gate. The start of gate. I think that's pretty fucking obvious, right? The phrase tree venly. Tree means tree. Then the end of, aka the branch, lay a lack of myself. When paired with a verb, which it is not, can mean something different. Did I do this one entirely wrong? The end of the tree? The end of the tree is the... Did I do this one wrong? I think I might have. So... Tree trunk would be start of tree. So I think this one's wrong. I feel pretty confident about it. I think we need to go with the old, and old. The question is, in what way? I think eld would mean, as a prefix, would mean my tree. So I don't think it's this. I'm like relatively confident it's not this one, but we'll put it in orange either way. That old tree is not owned by me. If I look at the words, it's tree old or old tree or tree branch, one of the two. And then the question is, how does a lack of myself? I would say there is lack of verbs. So I would say the old tree is not owned by me is more likely. But I would call it a like 55% chance. I am not an old tree does not make a lot of sense. Oh my god, I read the question wrong. Which of the following is not an acceptable interpretation of the phrase? Fuck. So, I think in that situation, yes, but then I mean, I got 2 out of 6 erosion questions wrong, right? So what is left for there to have been wrong? Let's do process of elimination. What are the other erosion questions? I kind of just assumed I had to have gotten this one wrong. Maybe I didn't, though. How would you say the following phrase in erosion? This one I did not feel comfortable. Oh, I didn't feel comfortable about either of these, so maybe I'm wrong. This is number 43, 44. Here is 45. And here is 46, which I think is math, and I guessed, and so I don't know how I got this one correct. But I have 100% on math, so I don't know. 8 squared is 64. 64 squared is something. Is 4,096. I don't know why this would be mathematically near perfect. I don't know what that means. But let's go through all of them. Eight squared, 64, rounded to the nearest. So this one is like 4,096. This one is 64 rounded is 60. This one is just 8 rounded to 10. Sorry, no. 8 rounded to 10 squared is 100. I mean, could be, I guess. 100 is a nice number. The other numbers are less nice to me. And then 8 squared 64 flipped is 46. I really don't feel like that is something good. Did I do that right? I mean, I think so, right? 8 squared is 64. 46. I would lean towards B there, honestly. If it were me, I would lean towards B. But I got the math correct? But is this a weird question that doesn't count as math? Like, maybe they say that it's erosion or history or something. I don't know. To me, it looks like math. And I did great in math, so I don't know. I felt pretty decent about this one, right? I thought we could sort of rule all the others out. Oh, boy. We're going to get done with this, and then the next time that I take the final exam, I'm going to go back and I'm going to think about all of these again because this is how my brain works. The thoroughness is exhausting sometimes, but it is also fun. So, and I want to get it right. I have such a deep desire to get it right. Why? I don't know. Okay, we have 3 more questions. We can do this. We can do this. I need to look at the classroom sheet. No, board. Aj means first. So north. What would be the clearest way you could give directions to someone at point A to get them to point B? C, let's rule out other options first. B means east to tree. That is not correct. The bottom one says small north, large east, small tree, small tree, southwest, or sorry, southeast, east, south, technically, in terms of the order. Small west. That doesn't make any sense. Small west makes no sense as at any point in the thing. So I think that's out. North, east, south. I think that's not particularly clear. I think first north, east, toward tree, lastly go south, away from the tree. I would say I have a 80% confident. And a slight bit. You wouldn't give them the directions to go north, east, south. They would have no idea how to do it. They would just have no idea how to do it. They just wouldn't know. I think we call this good. Okay. I think these must be the two Erajan ones that we missed. You have a very, very long name. Ul, I believe, would be correct. In terms of like you. RAA, I do not know. RAA? What am I looking at here? Nai Dao. That means night day. That is not it. Lor Lu. Your word. Oh. Something day. What does that mean? Your word? Or word without you would be more like it. Word without you. Dalvin, that's day, the end of, aka dusk. Ja, last day, the end of. That does not make sense. What is this RAA? What is RAA? Is that a part of... I got too many things open on my computer. Is that a part of our letter? Our Tomb Erajan letter? Ra? RAA? I don't remember that. There is, Uld Jora does literally, I'm pretty sure means your name. Uld Jora, I'm like pretty positive means your name. So... I think this is you, blank, name, large, which seems interesting to me. Lore means word. This is not the way to do this. We should do it this way. You, question mark, name, large. This one means word without you, question mark, day. Which does not strike me as anything. I feel like I'm using the same thought process here, but I'm how would you tell an Arajan to count me out? Raja means I don't know. Nai means night. L means me. Oh, this is so bad because I once again feel confident. Are we running into a dead end here? So the thing about verbs is early Arajan did not use any verbs. Today, the rare usage of verbs are comprised almost entirely of loanwords, mainly used to describe physical actions. So the thing that could be wrong is the physical action here. Count is not a physical action. But leave Lu means you won't leave, or leave you won't, or something like that. You should not leave, or you will not leave. Lay just means a lack of myself. So it could be that. Count me out. It just means like know me. Like I really don't think leave Lu is it. I just don't feel like that's the call. Iraja Nai. I mean, that's something else I don't understand. So maybe if I don't know what Ra means. This 43 feels correct. Anyways, I probably need to leave it here and to move on, which is unfortunate because I don't feel like we got ourselves an answer. But we can finally think about these things as we keep track of something as small as what apples give you +3 steps. So that's something I'll be thinking about. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this an episode right here. And we'll call it studying for the final exam. You know, this will be the episode where we studied. Unfortunately, we're not going to play the run in this episode, but I'm going to keep recording and we'll release it very soon. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh boy, if you didn't, you're probably not watching right now. I feel a little guilty about spending so much time just looking at Photoshop documents, but I also am very intrigued about the final exam. And something about me, if you're going to give me a test, I'm going to do my goddamn best to pass it. This is just how my brain works. Maybe you're like me where it's just like, given the opportunity to pass a test, you're gonna fucking pass that shit. So, here we are. I'm studying for an imaginary test in an imaginary game in an imaginary realm with an imaginary history, and I'm concerned that I'm not getting it correct. I'm concerned. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!